Okay, good sign right there. Well, I think we're good. That's probably the best injector balance rates I've ever seen. That's incredible. All right, so I was on Facebook Marketplace today, and that's how I'm gonna start the video off. And I found a frame for our completely destroyed Copart 2015 LML Duramax. This truck is smoked. The whole front end got smashed. The frame is bent. The front core support's junk. The fenders are junk. The hood's junk. There's no bed. I paid $3,700 for this, actually $3,750 plus broker fees on the Copart bidding auction website. It all came out to about $5,200 if I'm not mistaken. So far I got about $6,000 into the project. I talked to several body shops in the area. They won't take the job on as far as trying to rebend the truck in rightfully. If I'm trying to resell this truck, I want this to be right anyways. I don't want to do some redneck ingenuity and try to rebend it myself. You absolutely have to put a frame underneath there, but I gotta say, it's almost impossible to find a double cab short bed frame anywhere. The good news is it's the exact configuration. The bad news is it's a 2500 HD gas, not a diesel frame. But here's the thing, if none of this works out, I still have perfectly good parts to sell and make more money than I have into it. So either way, this is a win-win, but I still want to get this truck up and running. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the series build. LML Duramax project, I'm so pumped about it. Before we get started, we're nearing less than 2 weeks away from closing out the Switchblade truck giveaway plus $5,000 in cash. So every single dollar that you spend on the website is going to get you guys automatic entries in to win this truck. We built it on the channel. The most exciting part about this giveaway is I'm going to be handing the keys to one of you, but you have to go on the website and get entered in now because this is going to be gone really quick. So don't wait. I'll leave that link in the description as well as the comments below. We sell diesel truck parts, merchandise, there's something for everybody. So right now I'm headed to the Facebook Marketplace deal. It's about an hour away. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that frame right now. And not to confuse you guys, I'm buying just the frame. The cab in the bed that's coming with this truck is just a bonus. I don't need the cab. I'm gonna scrap it later. I might end up parting it out, selling it. I don't need the cab. It's just coming with the package deal, and the deal is just too good to pass up. But again, the only difference here is the fact that this frame is coming from a 2019 6.6 liter gas 2500 HD 4x4 truck. It's kind of slim pickings right now, but I know I can make this work. But what is the real difference? Keep watching till the end. I really don't know. I have a ton of stuff going on today. I'm gonna be pulling the cab, I'm gonna be pulling the engine, the transmission. I'm gonna try to strip it down as much as I possibly can. And I'm also gonna be showing you guys the real damage. What is really going on with this frame? Can we save it? More than likely I'm not gonna do that, but is it really that bad? The only way to know is to go ahead and strip everything down anyways. But I do have the trailer hooked up to this truck right now. We are on our way, so let's go ahead and make it there right now. Okay, so I picked this gem up for $1,000, $400 for the bed. I think it was a steal. The other side's pretty messed up. We'll talk about that here in a second. But we were able to remove it from this truck. Here's the other side. It's not a big deal. It's rust-free parts, man. $1,000. The frame alone is, I would say, worth that. So I think I'm in it, but I'm excited. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that thing. But we're gonna go ahead and load it on the trailer right now and get it home. All right, y'all, we made it home. Looks really good on this side. It's just when you get on the other side, it's kind of scary. This cab looks good other than the other side. These doors are in great shape. As a matter of fact, there was something completely different from what you're seeing here on his post. And I just asked him that one-off question. Do you have a double cab short bed Duramax frame laying around for a 2015? Now this is a 2019, so it's different. I looked it up online. They said that the frame is exactly the same with the exception of a cross member that I'm gonna have to swap from the old frame. And the engine mounts, I believe, are different, but it's not a big deal because I can cut off the other ones and weld them on this. I'm not exactly sure if the front differentials are different from the Gasser 2500 HDs versus the Duramaxes. I'm not exactly sure. They're probably different, but I'm gonna swap everything out anyways. This frame looks pretty rusty, but it's more or less surface rust. It's not terrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and just power wash that, clean it up. I'm gonna coat it. There's no way that this thing's going to steer whatsoever. There's no steering gearbox. It's disconnected from the center link, but we're gonna go ahead and get it off the trailer right now. Let's see how this goes. So I have the steps off. They're pretty rusty. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use them. Now, as far as removing the cab, just kind of think about the concept of anything that is connected to the cab, that is connected to the frame or the engine or the fuse box, anything like that, it needs to be removed. Like for example, wiring hoses. I'm actually disconnecting the full AC system because this whole engine's coming off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, like this would be connected to a wiring harness to the engine. So really just disconnecting everything. This is the neck that connects to the DEF tank. That's connected to the cab. All that's got to be removed. There is a ground on the frame, which is right here. Over here to the driver's side, there's another ground, which is right there, that needs to be disconnected. And what I always do with these e-brake cables, I always cut them because they're too rusty to be trying to mess with. I usually shave all that off and put a brand new one on there when the cab goes back down. So just kind of a quick thing. The transmission cable is disconnected. All 6 cab bolts are removed. Just disconnect all of the power steering hoses. Disconnect the master cylinder from the hydro boost. It's just 2 15mm bolts. This is a 15mm. This is your steering shaft. This is the last thing that I always connect before I push this entire truck all the way up to the hoist. But I'm just going to take all 4 points of contact, connect it to the pinch welds of the cab, and we're going to go ahead and just pick it up. Oh, forgot something. Ground strap. That'd be a bad day. So just skipped a step here. That's the ground strap. It's connected to the engine. I'm going to lower that down, take some of that preload off of it, and go ahead and pick it back up. I'm glad I noticed that. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is pull the engine. Sometimes you would think that the cab would be more involved, but no, it's actually the engine and transmission. So the idea here is to put the engine on the pallet, strap it down, bring the tractor in here, pick this pallet up and just move it out safely, because I really don't like to push this thing around. I will once I get it down on the pallet. I'm going to have to kind of scoot it forward if I get the tractor in here. But that shouldn't be a problem. So let me go ahead and do that right now. It's kind of sketchy, but it'll work. That worked out. A little sketch, but it'll do. The ECM's broke right here. I gotta fix that plastic clip right there. It's not really a huge deal, but this is what we have going on. I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside, probably over here. I'll go ahead and pull the frame back in and go ahead and pull the transmission off. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there for now. I gotta put a pallet underneath it, but it's done. I mean, we have the engine, the transmission, transfer case ripped out. We have the drive shafts ripped out. I don't wanna say I'm done. I have a ton of work to do. These are the mounts that are gonna be different. So the idea here is to go ahead and just cut all of this off and re-weld it on the new frame. But I'm just going by hearsay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my 15mm socket, remove the engine mount on the driver's side really quick here. And I'm gonna go ahead and, just for reference, take that engine mount and put it on the frame on the driver's side of the gas frame. Let's see what happens here. So now that I have the engine mount off, it would sit like that on the driver's side. So let's go ahead and take this and put it on the gas frame and just see what it looks like. I'm sure it's gonna be off, but if not, that'd be a huge win for me. So over here to the driver's side, from what it looks like, the Duramax dowel fits right here, but we're off just a touch, which really isn't that big of a deal. It's almost like, do I have to cut that off and re-weld anything? Because I can probably make that work, especially this hole. It lines up perfectly with the top up here. I don't know. We'll cross that hurdle when we need to, but I know I can figure that out. That's not that big of a deal. But that's the biggest difference between both 2500 HD frames is the engine mount and the transmission mount. And from my understanding, all I need to do is just swap the cross member. That shouldn't be a problem. Let's take a look inside though, man. I really haven't looked in here. I seriously just picked the truck up and didn't really even look at it. These are my tools. I was using that to remove stuff. What's this? $43,000. 2019 2500 four-wheel drive work truck package. No kidding. Double cab. And this is kind of equipped because it's got the leather seats. Doesn't have carpet, it's rubber floor mats. What else is in here? Owner's manual. These are nice to keep around. Without showing too much information, this truck came from the great state of Kentucky. The back here. Man, you know, all these seats right here I can sell though. I can get a lot of my money back from this. But it is a mess in here. Not a big deal. I'm gonna go through all this later, but we have door panels. These two doors are in great shape. I could sell those. I'm not keeping any of this stuff. I just want the frame. I'm gonna keep the bed. That was a huge score. So $400 for the bed, $1,000 for the truck. I wasn't expecting to pay $1,400 and walk away with pretty much a complete rolling chassis with a cab and a bed. But this was a big score for me. Again, I just need the frame and the bed. This is the other side. It's really not too bad. It looks like we could just do a lot of popping this stuff out, some body filler, respray this side of the bed, and I should be good to go. These doors are done. I can resell all this stuff right here. I'm gonna go ahead, I was thinking about it, I'm just gonna rip this entire dash out. This is a really nice dash. I'm gonna sell this dash complete, and I'm gonna scrap the rest of the cab. But yeah, here's the driver's side. We're off by a little, but I know I can make that work. That should not be an issue. But now that the engine and the transmission are removed, the cab's removed off this frame, this is a great snapshot of what your frame would actually look like if you got into a head-on collision and how badly this frame would be off. So as you guys can see, this is completely bent that way. It appears that the vehicle was hit from this direction and it pushed this whole front cross member support bracket all the way over. I could probably get away with this, but I do care about how this is done. I think that if I was to cut from here all the way down, and then same thing over here, so basically where this upper control arm tower, where the camber and caster bolt is, if you drew a line all the way down, just cut that whole entire front section off of the frame, and then I just simply went outside, took that frame that I just bought, did the same exact thing, and welded that right on here. More than likely, I'd get away with that. There was a body shop local to me that I talked to, and he made a very good point. If I do that, and I go to put the cab back on there, the engine, transmission, and you know, all that work, time and energy and money and effort and all that, and I go to take it down the road, there's no telling how off that rear end is. There's no telling how twisted the rear end of this frame really is after that head-on collision. So for me to try to do all of that work, I don't want to roll the dice and gamble and hope that that works out. I know that GM does sell the front section of these frames, and I can simply just buy one from them, cut this off, size it, weld it on there. I shouldn't have a problem. As a matter of fact, I can weld. I know how to weld. I have a nice Hobart. I've used this many times. I've done some pretty big jobs. I feel very confident that I can knock that out. But again, you just never know how twisted the rear end is. The other thing that I did is I went on the AC Delco GM website. I have a part number for this frame. I typed it in, pulled the frame up. It's out of stock, but guess how much money it is? It's over $4,000 just for the frame, completely stripped. Although this would be a pretty slick truck with a brand new frame underneath it. This clip that connects to this ECM, I'm not gonna mess with it right now, but it's in there. We'll just leave it in there for now. But this is the only hook that I can move in order to try to unplug that from the ECU. So I don't want to do that as of yet. I want to buy the actual connector, unpin all of these, and then repin them in a brand new harness, because that right there is no good. Also during the collision, the power steering fluid reservoir tank is broken, so it leaked all the fluid out, and the cold air intake tube that connects to here to the intercooler is completely destroyed. I think that's it. I really think those are the only two parts that I need to install on here to make this right. A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort has been put into this video. So at the very least, do me a favor and hit that like button. I really would appreciate it. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already as we continue the journey on the LML Duramax build from Copart. I'm hoping that this doesn't go over budget, but if it does, it is what it is. I want to single-handedly build this truck on my channel, sell it, and then report to you guys how much money I made in profit. I think that's going to be a fun little series. I may do another one. I'm not exactly sure. We'll see how this content goes. And of course, on your way out, head over to truckmasterdiesel.com. We sell a lot of diesel truck performance parts for your Duramax, your Power Stroke, Cummins, a lot of powder-coated goodies, traction bars, intake kits, turbos. Our #1 seller is AirDog lift pumps and fast lift pumps. Of course, Y bridges. We sell a lot of tuners. I mean, the list goes on. This truck is so sweet. I'm gonna be sad to see it go, man, but it's gonna be so fun to be able to just give the keys to somebody in $5 grand. I always enjoy giving trucks away. It's a lot of fun. But if you blink, you will miss this opportunity. So click the link right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned. 5-inch exhaust. And 4-inch exhaust.